Now, Samia Suluhu is extremely furious and enraged against all protesters and even activists who took to social media to speak out against the heinous massacre that happened in Tanzania during the election period. Now, there's this US-based activist by name MANGE Kimambi who was suspended off Instagram. So now let me fill you with the gist. So after Larry Madowo did the CNN expose, the forensic investigation that actually exposed that protesters were shot and killed by police, and to make it even worse, they were buried alive in secret mass graves, according to the forensic report that was done by CNN. And they used all kinds of technology to ascertain that. So there's this US-based influencer that I've mentioned the name, who actually spoke out against those ills that happened in TZ committed by, of course, Samia Suluhu. She ended up having her Instagram platform deleted or suspended. Now, after further investigation, and Larry Madowo dug into that, report, it's finally being unearthed that Samia Suluhu's government threatened Meta and told Meta, if you don't suspend MANGE Kimambis Instagram plus another activist as well, they'll have all Meta platforms suspended and blocked from operation in Tanzania. And that's how it ended up that MANGE Kimambis Instagram handle had to be yanked off. Now, before that, Mambi Kimange had tried to actually rack up support and just speak out. And she actually even mentioned Kenyans for being so supportive and urged Tanzanians to unite and not, let's say, fall apart, or not to succumb to the pressure, also not to bow down to the rules and the directives of Samia Suluhu. So when her videos went viral, Samia Suluhu felt threatened, and what she did next is she spoke to Meta. Remember, Samia Suluhu has a hold on X as well in Tanzania. If she doesn't want anything to trend right over there, the only thing they resort to is actually suspending the X platform. So that's against human rights, against as well freedom of speech, and just help allowing people to speak out their minds and expressing dissent is not a sin, it's not evil, it's not infringing on human rights, but it's something that makes Samia Suluhu so furious. So that report was actually released recently after Larry Madowo dug into it. But before that, prominent Tanzanian activist Mambi Kimangi accused the government of instigating removal of her social media accounts that she has been using to mobilize Tanzanians against the government. The former fashion model turned activist, who is based in the United States, is an outspoken critic of President Samia Suluhu Hassan, and with nearly 3 million followers on Instagram. She has been accused of inciting the recent deadly election protest, sparking calls for her arrest. A Meta spokesperson told the BBC that her Instagram account had been removed from violating a recidivism policy in Tanzanian government. Spokesperson Gerson Msigwa told BBC that she should provide proof of her claims. And quote unquote, this is what they said: "We don't allow people to create new accounts that are similar to those we previously removed from violating our community standards," said Meta, the parent company of Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. In what is believed to be a reference to Kimambi last month, Tanzania's Attorney General Hamza Johari said it was impossible how one person outside the country was directing people through social media. I can see a bit of Kenyanism in here, in a way that during our protest, the president claimed that they were funded or financed by NGOs and the Ford Foundation, but it just turned out the protest was super organic. So I can say this is a situation Mambi Kimange is finding herself in. So it ended up that they opened up a case, they filed a court case against her, they're suing her. And let me just get to part of the details of that court case. Yes, they opened an economic case. It's called, they've titled it Republic versus Mange John Kimambi. The hearing was to happen on December 4th. Next, the stage time was 11 a.m. Reference of, yes, I can see that. So they're accusing her, Samia mfungulia kesi ya economic mange, kesi ya kusabotage nchi. So in short, that's a treasonous charge against Mange Kimambi. And it just shows you the way African leaders are so extremely afraid and scared of activism and dissenting voices. They don't want anything to speak up. They don't want anyone to speak up against the ills or the evils that are happening in the country. They want to just, cover everything, hide it, and act like they're perfect. But it's about time. This is the season for revolutionaries. It's a season of reincarnation, rebirth, and disconnecting and stopping systematic oppression that has previously been installed and in operation for a very long time by leaders who were not supposed to be in office in the first place. Remember, Samia Suluhu was not elected. She inherited it from John Pombe Magufuli. So when this is coming out, it's just bizarre. I don't know what you make. Are you in Tanzania? Are you watching this video? How is the situation there? How are you guys feeling? And how are the operations in terms of businesses? Did people go to work? Are police still tracing people door to door? What are some of the directives that have been issued? And are you guys living in fear? Let us know. We as Kenyans will stand by you.